opportunities at your end, and welcome to our session today, where we are thrilled to bring over to you
Hi, hi.
amazing
Hi, how are you?
knowledge. So, together with my colleagues at the other end, we are all global digital entrepreneurs here today to share our stories with you. And starting with myself, I am Soyan, based in the UK, and you will hear who our other panelists are. So over to you, Rhea.
Oh, my name is Raya. I'm a mom, a registered mental health nurse, and now a digital business owner.
Thank you, Mr. Gabriel.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning, good evening, wherever you may be. My name is Gabriel, and I live in the UK.
Thank you. You're welcome. Over to you, Trisha.
Over to me. Sorry. Good
Yes.
afternoon, everyone. From my side, my name is Adugo Trisha. I'm speaking from France. I'm a mom and I'm a social worker. So nice to be here.
Thank you, Clarice. You're welcome. Okay, I think Clarice is frozen there. Her network has taken her off the stage, and while we are waiting for her to rejoin, we will get on at the moment, not to keep our audience waiting for too long. So, okay. Okay, I think there is a technical problem there preventing Clarice from coming across. We cannot hear you, Clarice. If you can get things adjusted so that you can be able to join us. Like we say, we are here today to share our experiences with you guys from wherever you are joining us, because we found this amazing business opportunity. And a lot of us have been doing this business for a number of years, and we are here to tell you a bit about what we have been through, what we were doing or did, and what made us to start this digital business. So myself, I am a nurse in background, originally from Cameroon, and I moved abroad in the diaspora after winning a scholarship for a postgraduate studies in healthcare. So I actually had that privilege to go abroad to study public health in the postgraduate. I did this, and before I left home with a bag
Hmm?
full of those
You
big
want to
dreams
go?
many of us will do. And I thought that those big dreams were definitely going to be fulfilled after studying hard, acquiring good grades, and graduating from school, acquiring a good job, and staying away from things that are not right and living the life. But you know what? It came to dawn on us, on me, that that was not perfectly 100% like I thought, because after studying, graduating, having with me 2 master's degrees and 2 bachelor's degrees in healthcare here abroad, just like many of you watching us who have graduated recently and you don't yet have something to do, despite your excellent skills and qualifications and experiences with what you have studied. I have been in that situation because before getting a job, I also had gone through uncountable rejections at job interviews. But that didn't throw me off my focus. I still persisted and remained focused. But when I got a job, I still had to do at least 2 different job roles in order to meet up with what I expected for a living. With all of this, I spent time actually as an absent parent. I was actually trading my time for money. Yet, after more than 15 years of these studies and hard work, turning down memory lane, I saw nothing to count on as a result of this work and experience. My quality of life was also questionable. And just like any of us, those big dreams that I traveled abroad with were almost like shattered. They were like unreachable. But I had that faith that I came with a purpose, and that purpose needs to be fulfilled. So I kept searching for something that could enable me meet those dreams. And after putting in more than 15 years of studies and hard work, I finally found this amazing digital business, which I have put in place and called my own, which has enabled me to have that time to spend with my family, my loved ones, and to achieve the, that uh, kind of a life that I have been craving for over the years. So I have no regret of having found this the amazing business opportunity, because it was clear to me that if I didn't find something this good, I was going to be working for the rest of my life. Definitely. Because immediately I stopped working. Of course, the means of living stopped. And of course, like many of us, no one wants to reach 73 before finishing from work in the official golden age. But then, what will that we are going to get after that 73 even be worth? Shall it be enough for our daily living? Just the basic life needs? Not at all. So, guys, this is what I found. And if you want to know what we are talking about, all of us globally who have found this similar business opportunity, then hop on board. So, without taking much of your time, I will let my colleague, Rayo, also speak. And I will be back. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, my coach. That's my coach, okay? That's my coach in the house. Thank you so much. Himself and the wife, they are coach, and they've been doing a fabulous job. Guys, I just want to we thank you, for joining us today and for listening to us, wherever you are listening, whether it's in the morning, afternoon, or night, okay? We want to appreciate you. But we just want you to realize that we all have, wherever you are in the world, we all have a common story, okay? Every one of us have a story and we all have skill. And that is why we are here. Okay, my name, is Rayo. I'm a mom, an ex-banker turned, a registered mental health nurse, and now a digital business owner. And here is my story. Okay. I travel abroad, just like every one of us, I've done, for a greener pasture. Okay. And coming abroad, it's not as if I can't get, a job actually in my area. Actually got job in a bank. But it's with tears that I have to drop the job, because as at that particular time, childcare is actually £350. And my job per week, okay, is going to give me 475, per week. So there's no way I can drop, my children. I have two of them there, okay. And not even only that, see, even if I drop them, okay, I can't. There's no way I can easily come back to pick them. So in the process, I have to resolve in my heart to do something, okay, that is going to help me, train my children, let them grow in a comfort, friendly environment and safe environment. We are, abroad. And that is what I need to tell you guys. When you come abroad, you must be able to wear different cap. And also, please don't let your certificate or your position, don't let it becloud you, because it's just going to make you stay on the same spot. I left my country as an assistant manager in banking and finance, okay, and having to relocate abroad and starting as an healthcare assistant, okay. You think what? Okay, but thank God, the group, they said the company you keep actually determine how you go in life. I actually have a friend that was a medical doctor, okay, and he was in this country, trying to do his adaptation. And one of our friends that is a lawyer always go to a shop to go and clean at night. And this particular fateful day, She bought some goods in that store, and because she's not permanent there, she doesn't have a locker to keep those things. So she find one of our brother on the tail and said, please, can you hold this for me? Let me quickly get my key so that I can put it in my car. And lo and behold, before my friend came out, this guy has gone with the goods. Okay, she was crying, but thank God that the person that actually took it pay with credit card. So the customer people, the customer guy said, don't worry, we'll get it for you. But so in a nutshell, she came home that day crying. Okay. And that is how we were thinking that what kind of life is this? We are all professionals. We came abroad, with great hopes. Why is all this happening? And that is when, this particular friend of ours say, sis, I just don't want to tell you guys, I'm not working as a doctor. I'm working as healthcare assistant. I don't know. I have no clue what healthcare assistant means. But fast forward, she mentioned, he told us everything. And I'm just like, what's the big deal? As long as I can do it in the night and I have time for my children in the morning. And that is what I did, my brothers and sisters, for solid 14 years. Okay. Saw my children, going to the university, coming out from the university. And I now ask myself, what can I do? And that is when my brain, actually, it was my husband said, why don't you go for nursing? And that is how I did nursing. Do you see? I feel fulfilled when I did nursing, but nothing prepares me, for this extra shift. When I was healthcare assistant, I was actually comfortable. My money was good. But when I finished the nursing, the salary, I'm like, what? So I have to do extra shifting. Now, the children that I was trying to protect, now I need to live there. I've become like a stranger in my own house. And that's what got me thinking that for how long? Because I'm now hearing stories, I'm seeing patterns. People just working all the days of their lives. It has now become an addict, chasing after overtime, chasing after extra shifts. And that is what got me thinking last year. I just said, what I can't. And even going from one place to another, you have your role and you still take agency. And I'm just like, what kind of life is this? There's no peace. Okay. And that is what got me thinking. So I had to go back. I was asking God, what is it? And that is how I found this business. I connected it with my sister. When I told her my story, she said, we have the same story. So, and that is how we connected it. And that is how I started this business. What I am looking for, okay, is time freedom. Okay. What I'm looking for is options, choices, flexibility, something that I can do in the comfort of my home, that even when I am not physically, there, it can still be earning, some generating some, revenue for me. That is what I was looking for. And that is what this business has done for me. Okay. Now I don't chase after extra shift. Does it mean that I don't do it? Of course I do it, but I don't have that anxiety, okay, around it. Not only that, it has given me something, a side hustle that I'm not putting all my hope in one basket. And that is why I want to tell you, okay, are you a busy mom? Okay, are you an healthcare worker that you have to take 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs to make ends meet? As is it really meeting? Because we go from paycheck to paycheck. And that is why I want you to think about your life, think about your future. For how long can you keep up with this pace? We are not getting younger, okay? And I don't want you, I personally, I don't want to, come to this golden age, leaving this job, okay, and now still have to be doing 2 or 3 days in a week. No, okay? Remember, retiring from my employment is not retiring from my income. So it is time to borrow ourselves sense, something that we can do in the comfort of our home. So I think my brother will be able to share more, because we are all in the same boat. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this brilliant analysis there. Over to you, Mr. Gabriel. I want.
Okay. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting me for the live.
You're welcome.
My name is Gabriel, originally from Nigeria. I'm here to share my story, why I started this digital business. Over 36 years ago, I came to Europe with a suitcase full of dreams, just like my coach said earlier, hope and determination. I was fortunate to get a scholarship to study in Europe, in Poland to be precise. and eventually earned my master's degree in agricultural engineering. Like many of you out there, like many immigrants, Africans, we came with a vision of building a life for ourselves, and not only for ourselves, but for our children and for our family and the generation coming after us. So that was exactly my case also. But we know that life doesn't actually, come out the way we write our dreams. So after my studies, situations changed that, I had to, do different types of jobs, even meaning my living, the place I studied. And that was where I grounded a family. I had to go abroad, searching for, means of keeping my family together. So this has been my story for a very long time until I came, to the UK. And I now live in the UK since for the past 12 years now. So, and the whole situation continued. That is work, sleep, work, juggling, hours, spending hours, and, to get to get at least a means of paying your bills. So that was why, I started thinking, I said, will this, kind of life continue for me forever? I said, no, because looking back, and especially when I saw that my golden years was closing near, and there was nothing really to look, to fall back on, to look at and say, oh, this is what you've achieved. So I started thinking and looking for, an alternative. After praying to God, I was lucky to,
Je
to
suis
come
live.
across
Tu
a
es bien
beautiful
fort.
lady
Tu es malade, quoi.
who is my coach
Il y a une
today
vidéo qui te voit en
and the
kilote.
wife of our coach here.
S'il te plaît, bouge-toi.
So she, in the video, she explained that there's another way of, making some living, some money, yeah. So, and especially from all of us from our background, because we don't have, we didn't know about many of these things going on. So I thought it wise, to have a look at what she was saying, because she was actually directly, I felt she was talking to me directly, at that moment. And I resonated with what, she said. And I said, okay, let me check. Let me look at this digital business she's talking about.
And here you are today.
Exactly. And here I am today. So, and I can never regret any minute of it. So this is why today I'm telling my people out there, Africans, immigrants from all parts, who are looking for at least another means of getting, a little by the side, and so that after the golden years, you will have something to fall on. I mean, the little, money, the little thing we'll be getting, which may not be able to take us, to do many of our heart's desires then. But now you will know that at least you have something that will make that possible. Doing other fine things, in your, later years. And apart from this, you are building a legacy for yourself. Because this business, you will leave it for your children, and they will continue with it. So I thank God, for this opportunity given to me. And while here, I have seen that our business model, we have a system built by the experts, so which does about 80% of the job. So really what you do is just you plug in, and the other 20% for you. I mean, it's something you can do on the side. You must not be here, at the moment. If you are doing your normal job, that is okay. But just 1 or 2 hours every day, will be enough to do what you have to do here in this digital business. We have a mentorship. Coach is my coach, and we have a mentor also, and the tools are there. We have a community of over 300,000 all over the world. We support each and every one of us. So we are not alone. I know this business belongs to me, but I'm not doing it alone. I have help all around me. So if I have any difficulty coming across anything, I'm free to ask my mentors, my coaches, and they are there for us. So I really, sincerely advise my people who are in my, this golden age. If you are 50, 40, 50, 60, please have
Start
a
thinking.
think. I'm only just telling you to think about it, strategically, and come and have a look at what we are doing. If this we are saying is true or not. And the process of entry is very simple. You have a token to get in, and you have a deeper look at what they are telling you, and you have a 30 days. If you are not okay with it, it will be refunded to you, and you are free to do whatever
Yeah.
you want to do. So
Thank you.
that is exactly, let me stop here now at the moment. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Amazing, amazing, guys. Wherever you are watching us from, take a cold drink or whatever is preferable to you. Sit down and absorb these golden nuggets that we are
Yeah.
dishing out here, guys, because you may be somewhere, wherever you are, in whatever situation, and you are thinking that all hopes have been lost. This is where you need, this is your wake, this is saving as a wake-up call, guys.
Yeah.
Follow who know road, and we're happy to show you the way. Thank you so much. And without saying too much, leave over to my other colleague here, Trisha. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much, my coach. Like all my colleagues said, my name is Trisha Adugo, and I'm in France. Actually, I came from Nigeria. I'm a wife, a mom of two grown-up kids. So I immigrated here like every other person with my husband to in search of greener pastures, and we immigrated with the hope of all the families. So like everybody here, when you leave Africa, our system of Africa is not like a nuclear family here, where it is only mom and dad and kids. There is a large family. So you have the cousins, the aunts, anywhere. Everybody is just hoping on you. The moment you left, you are in the Western world. For them, all the streets are paved with goats. That is what we were thinking. But on arriving here, first of all, I am English speaking. I find myself in a country where I have to learn French. I have to start all over and then begin to learn. Initially, I tried a lot of jobs. I started with housekeeping in the hotel. That was hard. I have to go back and then the healthcare assistant, and then started working in old people's homes. So I remember working one day, that was in August. During the process, I lost a pregnancy of 4 months in the process of washing and lifting people in a wheelchair, manipulating them. I didn't get any compensation. What the authority, they told me, madam, you should have told us you were expecting a baby, as if that would change anything, because we were in 12-hour shift. You start 7 a.m. and then you have to finish 7 p.m., whether you like it or not, with only 1 hour break. So, and it was in the hot weather like this, August. It was too tough. So after that bad experience, it was very, very terrible for me. I have to quit that job. I went back to school. I went back to learn social working. Right, like I studied for 3 years, had a diploma, and actually I work with child protection as a social worker. It's a job I love, and I'm making a lot of impacts. But the point is, like we said initially, we all came to search. We're all looking for, greener pastures, how to improve our lives and improve those who are relying on us. And as time goes on, we come to realize also that life is not easy. By the time you pay your mortgages, pay your bills here and there, your assurances, and send money home, you discover that the money is no longer enough, even though we are two working in the house. And with that also, any slightest, I work like four days in a week. I have 3 days off. I have to go back to interim agency. I work also with them. So it's non-stop. There are weeks, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks continuously. I work without stopping. At a time I say, oh my God, how is there no other way? Mind you, I have tried so many other different businesses. So initially it sounds so good. I jump into it. As time goes on, I notice that, well, that's not it. I have to quit. So I was just on this process, struggling and struggling, seeing no issue. Even while my kids were small, I have to rush them in the daycare. But now they finish university. Thank God for that. But how I wish I discovered this business earlier
Yeah.
than now.
Yeah.
How I wish. So, but then let's get back to it. So while they were small, even when they were sick, here the sick leave for a mom is just 3 days. If your child is sick, they can give you 3 days. At the end of 3 days, you might do whatever you want, but come back to work. Okay. So it was hard. It's only me and my husband. I don't have any other family here. So there are times when I drop them, I feel so bad. They will look at me with this kind of look. Mom, are you going again? I feel so guilty that I have to drop them and go. You come back to pick them up, they'll tell you, madam, he's a bit feverish today. He's not playing well. He this and that, and then I will take care of him. Tomorrow I have to drop him again. So this guilt, I feel it. And there are some people who tell me, why are you running? Every day instead of you staying home, taking care of your kid, you have to drop them. We need to work. Okay. So the feeling was very, very terrible. Thank God that they grew up well. They're well educated. Thank God for that. But then, as I was saying, during this running around looking for money, accumulating jobs, one after the other, one after the other. A time came I felt really sick because I couldn't, I was on admission for some weeks. So while lying on that hospital bed, I was asking myself, okay, now I am here in the hospital bed. My job, the place I was occupying, somebody else is taking it in replacement. What if I go to heaven from here? What will happen to my children? What will I gain? So I was there praying to God, is there no way out? Is there nothing else I could do? So just then there, I was just, there is the television, but I have my telephone. I was just going through it, and while praying also, I said, God, things have to change. It's no longer funny. I can't cope here, and then I have the responsibilities back home because I have to help. So until I see that brother one day talking about digital business, that wasn't the first time I'm hearing it because there's a lot of things in the air. So, and I was looking at it, I said, but digital business, he sounds so convincing. And something in what he said made me click. He said, you have nothing to sell. Do you say? I say, really? Business that doesn't involve selling? That sounds good. So, and he said, it's something you keep for a lifetime. You only come, you register, and if you are not okay with it, you can be refunded. That was how I got in touch with him. And there and then I signed. So without hesitating, I know that, there are so many things in the internet. A lot of them are AI originated. Some will say, be careful. What you see is not always all true. But when you see a good thing, there's this thing I mean, it's like an angel speaking to you. Even if you want to put this aside, you keep ringing in your ears. Give it a try. Give it a try. So I don't know who is watching, all the spectators who are watching, anywhere you are. If you are like any of us, you've been hustling, accumulating jobs after jobs. Remember, Nothing is worth good health. You may be millionaire, you have anything you have. If you don't have good health, you don't have anything. So when I decided to jump into this business, and I begin to know that it is something you can do anywhere you are. There is no stress. There is no hustling. I mean, you take it cool at your own time, at your own pace. And you have people surrounding you. You have the system of the coach, the mentorship, and we're a community whereby there is no jealousy, no, I don't want to help him because otherwise he'll overtake me. So we're here open for everybody. I am here now. I can reach the coach in London. I can reach the sister, I don't know, anywhere. My own mentor is in Greece. So 24 hours I can reach him. I'm based in France. So we find people loving. We make good friends. We grow and we make income for us at the end of the month. That is what it takes to help us with our bills. And then it is something we keep for a lifetime. I mean, you see, you do it until even after your, I don't know, your golden age. So your kids can take over. It's
Yes.
a beautiful thing. You need to give it a try. Be careful, yes, but life is a risk. Take that
Yeah.
risk. You might be good, you might be happy that you did. So I won't talk too much. It's okay.
Wow, my God. Really, everything is a risk. So if
Yes.
you say this is a risk and you stay stuck in that position where you have been for 10, 20, 30, or
Yeah.
how many years,
Yeah.
God knows how many even, then nothing will change, guys.
Yes.
Even when you eat, it is a risk you are taking.
Sure.
You are you are crossing the road, it is a risk.
Sure.
Whether you are going to the shop, whatever
It
you
is.
are doing as you leave is a risk.
Yeah.
So we can't be frightened by that aspect
Yeah.
of risk and stay where we are, guys, because we all know that the best thing is lying on that other side of comfort,
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
other side of the comfort zone. That is where better things lie.
Yeah.
So if we look at what we to take in order to reach that other side where we are supposed to be, then we will overcome everything. So, I mean,
Yes.
it's amazing. I think there's enough to take home wherever you are watching us from at this moment. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you, sir.
I will just hand over to our next panelist to take over and share a bit of her story.
Good evening. I am Clarice Bate. I am from Poland and and I want to share a little bit about my story. When as a young immigrant, by the way, I'm from Cameroon. Yes, originate from Cameroon. And a young immigrant that migrated to Cameroon or to Poland, and my hope was to look for greener pasture. Normally, when you say traveling, is to look for greener pasture to better my life.
Yeah.
When I arrived here, I first study and I got a job. I know that everything will be okay. Oh, I start working. I start working. It was not really easy because I was working day and night, no stop. And I said, oh, my life. Is this how my life will look like? Is this all about my life? And I was like, night I don't sleep. I will be thinking, asking myself those questions. What will my future look like in the next 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? Is this how I'll be working all my life and end of the month, not that I am not working and I'll be having a debit check waiting for me, a credit check waiting for me, and I'm asking myself those questions, a lot of questions. I was very pale. I was thinking in thoughts at my young age, thinking, and somebody will look at me that you are healthy. I said, but I am healthy, but deep inside me, I know that I am not fine. And I start searching on social media. As you're watching us right now, I start searching. And normally I have a passion of business. Even when I'm working, I study market, I will have a passion of business.
Mature.
So when I start,
You're still
yes,
lighter.
I start searching on social media, I saw this advertisement and I said, hey, and I saw my coach. She's a lady and she speak. And I said, this mother know that I am passing through this. So and I asked myself again another question. I said, but if she can do it, at his age. Then I am young. What about me? I can also do it. And I nod my head. At that time, to be sincere enough, I was not ready. But I know that it was a legitimate business. I was not ready then. I do my finding. I was not ready to step into it to start the business because I was I was scared that maybe I will not be able to meet up with the target. But when I do my research, all right, and I plug into the system. I pay that 149 USD for registration. I do my coaching call, and I discovered that it was nothing that I was thinking of. That I was scared for nothing. That what is inside, I don't have any skill. I can still do this business, and even when you are a computer illiterate, you can still do this business because I would never have any knowledge of computer. I usually go to computer studies just to have my tests, write the tests, what I'm doing, and I pass, I'm going. To navigate all those things, I never put interest on it. So on this global platform, I should have seen like this, I was trained. Everything that I know today, the skill, every skill that I know today is from this business that I'm telling. Apart from the blessing that is coming behind it, I learned a lot. Boldness, confidence, and whatever the skill that I learned. And not only that, what I am building so far, that my 9 to 5 job that I am going every day, stressing my brain cannot give me because even if I want to leave that world, everything, I cannot pass that to my
Yeah.
children. But with this, my business that I am the owner, I can pass it on to my children, which they can tell me that, Mom, I am grateful that you left something for me. And I was so happy that I found this business. As you are watching us right now and you are thinking like, is this, can I also do it? Is this way? My situation was worse than you. You don't know. Maybe you are thinking like you cannot do it, my dear. You can do it, my father, my mother. You can do it. Just have that determination to learn. Just have that mindset that you can do it. Always put on a positive mindset. Whatever you are doing, you 100% success is your portion. I don't always carry a negative aspect of your life, put it in front of you. No. Say that I can do it. If she can do it, I also can do it. Say you can do it. Just come closer, check it out, come closer, make that one decision because they say one decision you take today can change your life. That one decision that I made changed my life, give me the smile that I deserve, made me to have this new skill that I'm learning. Learning new skills is not a crime, and having multiple stream of income also
It's a
is not a
crime.
crime.
Yes.
It's not a crime. So just come in. Even you are comfortable with whatever you are doing, you might not know. Just learn new skills. Just come in.
Yes.
Only the technology, only everything you learn and you build. Together we grow. We are here to help you build that legacy for yourself. Thank you, Coach. Over to you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, Clarice. And
Welcome.
our viewers out there, I think much has been said at this session today. And we are so excited and happy that you will be able to find your portion in all of we have today. At least you will find your exact fit because all of us uh, swimming in this amazing system today, we have also been through that same situation where you are today and you are thinking that that is your own portion, that
Yeah.
is your own destiny. That is not the end. That is not the proclamation that that is all finished for you. You are in whatever situation, like my colleague there have just said, believe that you can change that situation where you are and it will definitely change. Believe that you can do it. Believe that you will still be what you want to be. You will still achieve what you want to achieve and it will transpire like a magic. It all lies in the brain. It
Yeah.
all lies there and transpires into, transcribe into realities. So it is what you make it. So we are here today telling you nothing is impossible. If you stay positive, take that action that you need to take. Check out on what we are talking about here. Get in touch with anyone you find here. Look at the bio. Go to the various pages and look at the bios of everyone here. You will have access to what you want. You will have the relevant information that you need in order to become what you like to become. So nothing is impossible, guys. Everything is there, and we will continue to come over again to let you know more about this amazing business that we have found, and we are all happy and excited that we found it. The
Yes.
usual statement is always that how I wish I had seen this before. Like you heard my colleagues there say, that is always the last statement, because people, you are out there trying various things that you have invested into, which are many times what you need to get started with our business program. And you have sort of kept yourself off from any further attempts. But remember, no action, no changes. And you don't want to remain in the situation in which you are. So we are calling on you guys. We
Yes.
are there for you, happy to hold your hands and show you the way. Follow who know road.
Good.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you so much. And
Thank
we
you.
will be back again. And to my amazing colleagues at their various ends, I'm so happy and appreciative for you taking off time to come and share this knowledge here so that those of us who are out there will be able to draw that inspiration from what you have gone through to know that our business doesn't have a boundary.
No.
Our business doesn't discriminate.
No.
Our business doesn't have any prerequisite to start and run it successfully. So
Yes.
we are here for you. Thank you so much for coming. And we will find time again to always come as usual. Bye bye for now. And
Thank you so much for having
Thank you so
us.
much, guys.